Let's run the fucking ball. Why didn't you just take a fucking knee?
This ends up on Pornhub. Sorry for your weird masturbation session.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Sideline Study Podcast. I am JP, as you all know, or Cold Bone Show, whatever you want to call me. I know this seems weird. Coop will be here, but he will not be here tonight. We also have Bobbit with us. I have Heather here. We added a team member, Sarah. She's feeling under the weather. Sarah, get better. I hope everything's going well. We'll be getting into some. We're going to do some predictions, but I'll start them next week when we have everybody here.
Tonight's just the night of entering. No, I should be in the chat for that.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Tonight we're just going to find out who wants to be part of it.
Right. So we're just going to go over some news, some stuff that I've seen. Go over a little bit of college news that's not really too much of a big news. For Big Ten fans, for me personally, and for SEC fans, Alabama fans, they got a little bit of news. We'll talk about that in a second. A lot of Dallas Cowboy news today. Have you read any of this stuff, Bobbit? Have you looked at any of it?
I have not.
So, Ezekiel Elliott. Decides, and this is interesting. Ezekiel Elliott is going to Cabo to train while he is holding out. Now, if you don't know, Ezekiel Elliott, so the supposed best running back in the NFL, or so he thinks, I think he's a waste of fucking space personally, decided that he doesn't need to fucking go to the fucking training camps. Him and Le'Veon Bell must be hanging out. Because he's not going to be... He's holding out for more money. And I think he's still on his rookie contract. If I remember correct. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. But that's not a good thing. That is not a good thing. And Jerry Jones did say, I don't need the best running back in the NFL to win championships. You kind of do, Jerry, because your quarterback isn't that great either. I mean, he's okay. He's serviceable, but I don't think he can win you a Super Bowl. You need that running game. And Ezekiel Elliott, I don't care. I think his last year at Ohio State, it's all I needed to see out of him. You can go ahead and pick great talent. The year before, man, he was a fucking beast. But he's wah cry for me because I'm not getting the ball. I mean, they still won the Big Ten. But I don't know. Ezekiel Elliott can go fuck himself. I would get rid of the guy, personally. I don't want shit like that on my fucking team. That's why you never see. That's why the Packers, for as much trouble as they have had the last couple of years, you never, ever see that shit. Ever in Green Bay. You never see that stuff. You'll have some off-the-field stuff, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's not news up here. If somebody's holding out, they're not holding out. They just are not there. They don't even talk about it up here. Because they make it a non-fucking issue. The NFL might, national news might, but you never hear that shit up here. Ever. Somebody holding out for no reason. That never happens up here. That's why Green Bay, that's why you see Green Bay, that's why you see New England, that's why you see, what's another team out there, Bobbit? The Baltimore Ravens.
I know that Carolina doesn't do that shit either.
Well, I mean, Carolina has their own issues, but you don't see Baltimore, the Ravens, Steelers are another team you don't see that with. Very rarely do you see that stuff in those teams. and this is why Dallas fails a lot. This is why Dallas never goes anywhere, because they have people that they bring in that think they're bigger than the game itself. And nobody's bigger than the game. So, Bobbit, what are your thoughts?
I agree with you completely. Like, to me, the reason him not even going to training camp, to me, that's not a team player, and that's somebody that you don't want on your team. And it's bullshit, man. Because if I was him, I would at least go to training camp and stuff like that. Try to seem like I'm a team player.
Right. So, that being said, the Cowboys went out and signed Alfred Morris to a 1-year deal for insurance on Ezekiel Elliott. So I don't think Jerry Jones is budging. Ezekiel Elliott might sit out the rest of the year. And then if I was Jerry Jones, I'd release his ass. Fuck him. Fuck Ezekiel Elliott. One of the best running backs in the league. But I don't want a fucking cancer on my team. Fuck that shit. Mm-mm. Heather, your thoughts?
This guy has shown himself to be one of the biggest pricks in the entire fucking league.
He has.
Needs an ego check.
He does. And I totally agree. And that's just not because I'm not a Cowboys fan. That's me being a fan of football. If I would not want a guy, if Aaron Rodgers was doing that shit, I'm going to say it right now, get rid of his ass. I don't hear him doing that shit. Speaking of Le'Veon Bell, I mentioned Le'Veon Bell. He apologized. Why? Well, I don't. This is why I hate fantasy football. He apologizes to fantasy football owners for missing the 2018 season. How condescending is that? How condescending is that? Why do you care about fantasy football? You should be more worried about fucking winning Super Bowls than winning fantasy football. Wow. Don't apologize to fantasy football owners. You aren't that great. I mean, he's great. He's probably the best running back in the league, but come on, man. I wouldn't apologize for shit.
That's how sad that is. That fantasy football is that big that he feels like he had to apologize to him over it.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. Little other Dolphins part ways with their offensive line coach Pat Flaherty. I didn't know anything about this, and he'd only been with the team for 6 months. I don't know what that means. I don't. Who knows? The Saints cut wide receiver Cameron Meredith after 1 season. For all you New Orleans Saints fans,
that's crazy.
This everything I'm getting is from NFL.com. So, and Grant Gordon actually wrote this article. So, I don't know. Can you look up for me, Bobbit, if you can, or Heather, if you can, as to where, if this guy was drafted, Cameron Meredith?
I'm looking now.
Oh, okay, never mind. He had a breakout season with the Bears in 2016 where he had 66 receptions for 88 yards and he only had 88 yards on 66 receptions. This guy his yards per catch sucks. I think that's 880 yards, but whatever. 4 touchdowns in 14 games. Meredith, he signed a 2-year, $9.6 million deal in April of 2018. He only saw action in 6 games in 2018, where he ended up on injured reserve with knee issues. He had previously missed all of 2017 with a torn ACL. Yeah, I mean, this guy's... he's done. The injury. I've torn an ACL before, and you can recover from them more often than not. Today, you recover from them, but they are not easy to recover from. You have to put in the hard work to recover from it. Yeah. But other than that, I mean, there's one more thing that I wanted to hit on, and that is, and I love this, and I mentioned it today. The head coach, and I can't remember his name, from the Miami Dolphins. The head coach of the Miami Dolphins. We're talking about guys that make millions of dollars a year. They were making mental mistakes. He stopped practice, I think, if I remember it, is 3 to 4 times and made them run. Name me a coach in the NFL that does that today. I like that guy.
I do too.
That's a good coach. That's what a coach should do. That's how you discipline a team. You don't want to do the work. You want to be here. You better fucking prove to me you want to fucking be here. That is what a coach is for. I fucking loved that. I wish that a lot of other coaches, they talk about how their coaches are the disciplinarians. This guy is a disciplinarian. I like that. Really, other than that, there's really not that much big news. You guys want to talk about what that coach did? That's fine. I'm actually going to...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Right. I just want to say this. This day and age, coaching like that, you just don't see it much anymore, and it's unfortunate because you got these coaches out here that wants to be everybody's buddy. They don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that. No, I want a coach that will bust your balls because that's the only way that you'll ever improve as a player.
Yep. Agreed. Heather? No? Nothing? A little bit of sad news. I don't even know who this guy is, but Chargers running back great Keith Lincoln died at 80. Here's something. The 2017 NFL Draft revisited, ranking the top 10 players in the class. And I'll go from 10 up. And then number 10, safety, Eddie Jackson. Played for the Chicago Bears. 4th round pick, 112th overall. He emerged as one of the best ball hawking safeties in the game right now. He has, because he had quite a few picks. He picked off Rodgers like 2 or 3 times last year, I think. Number 9, I think he should be maybe one higher on the list. Deshaun Watson. 1st round pick, number 12 overall in 2017. I think he should be a little higher. But we'll hold on. Let's go through this list. And then number 8, Marshawn Lattimore, cornerback, New Orleans Saints. 1st round pick, number 11 overall. Yeah, he's good. He's a good cornerback. He covers their top receiver every week. It's only his 2nd year in the league, so yeah. Myles Garrett, number 1 pick overall in 2017 at number 7. I think I'd put him a little higher. Kareem Hunt, running back, Cleveland Browns. He's the one that had that off-the-field issues last year. Was suspended for the rest of the year because of the didn't he like performance? What did he do? Didn't he like abuse somebody or domestic violence or something like that?
No, that was Hill from the Chargers.
Yeah, but that got dropped, from what I heard. She was lying, apparently. George Kittle, tight end, San Francisco 49ers, 5th round pick, drafted 146th overall. Good tight end. Good tight end. You'll like this one, Bob. Christian McCaffrey, running back. First round pick, number 8 overall. He's the 4th best player in the draft that year. I don't know if I'd put him that high. Jamal Adams, first round pick, number 6 overall, at number 3. I can agree with this. Number 2, Alvin Kamara, running back, New Orleans Saints, drafted in the 3rd round, number 67 overall. And the number 1, and the number 1 player, Patrick Mahomes, number 10 overall, first round pick. I wouldn't put him at number 1. I mean, yeah, he won an MVP, but I want to see what he does this year. I want to see what he does this year before I can call him a great, because he showed his colors in an AFC Championship game. I mean, I think he's a great quarterback. I said he was going to have a breakout year. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a breakout year, but it was an okay year. It was a big year for him. But again, we're talking about the AFC West. There really was not. The AFC is weak, in my opinion. There's good teams there. You got your New England Patriots, and we'll go through the picks and stuff. In fact, next week we're going to do the AFC West and the NFC West as far as our predictions for that. And I want to get everybody here just so that we can talk about that. What's that, Bobby?
Oh, no. I was just agreeing with you.
Okay. That being said, there's really not much going on. We're excited for the season. If you guys want, and Heather put it in the chat, DM her and let her know if you guys want to do the season. We're probably going to do the same thing we did last year, where we're going to pick our games, and then we'll go from there and we'll rank them like we did last year. I can't remember how the season went last year. I think, who ended up winning anyway?
Out of us, you won. Out of the panel, it was you. In the chat, it was Alpha.
But if you guys, because I'm the man, but if you guys want to join in on the fun with that, let us know. And DM Heather. If you're not following her, it's at Goonie20. Follow her.
And we're going to
DM.
have a special guest this year again.
No, we're not. You think we are, but we're not.
Yep.
So anyway.
No, we are.
No, we're not. So anyway. No, we're not. So anyway.
Yeah, we are.
No. So anyway. That being said. Try me, motherfucker. See what happens. Anyway. Let's move on to some college stuff. There's not really much news. We'll actually, next week, we'll give predictions for the ACC. Bobbitt's in ACC country. We'll go through the predictions for that. I haven't even looked at the rankings for that yet, but I will. Football season snuck up on me this year. We've got Wendy, so it's season snuck up on me quick. So, but we'll do that, and then we'll probably. What's up, horny goat? Hey, Francis is in the chat. I'm just kidding. But we'll go through all that stuff. Let's talk just a little bit of college news. Maybe, you know what? We'll talk Madden and NCAA. Because I've heard what they're doing. They might be bringing back NCAA football.
Oh, thank God.
Because they're starting to, I guess the story in Madden 20 is you can pick one of 10 teams from the NCAA, and you're like the face of the franchise. It's something like that, I guess. I'd have to read up on that. I don't know if that's true or not, but I was reading on it today. I just looked up to see what when the release date was, which, by the way, is
August 2nd.
4 days away. So go out and get that game. I think I am gonna buy the game.
I will for sure get it.
If they, the only way, this will probably be the last year that I buy the game. The only way I'll keep buying it is if they reintroduce. But then again, they have the franchise mode on there, so you can continue to, play on it. So, and I love franchise mode. I don't play all the online games. I don't play all that stuff. I don't do the where you become a player and then play that guy. I might do the face of the franchise thing. I didn't even play the homecoming thing. It just wasn't my cup of tea. Just wasn't my cup of tea. So, that being said, I'll probably get that, but I really like the way that they used to do the Madden series in NCAA, where they integrated them, where you could upload the draft or the classes, the draft class up to Madden, and you could draft off of NCAA and incorporate it. But they kind of did it backwards. You kind of had to play a full season of NCAA before you, which didn't make sense to me. You could play the preseason, but you couldn't start the regular season because you had to upload. They need to change the way they do that. That's one of the downfalls. That was one of the downfalls for me. Go ahead, Bobbit.
Other thing I like about Madden 20, you know how like in franchise mode you couldn't ever do the Pro Bowl?
Okay. Yeah.
This year you can actually play the Pro Bowl.
Okay. I'm not a fan of playing the Pro Bowl. I don't even watch the Pro Bowl. So.
I like playing it. I just don't like. I don't like watching it.
Yeah, Pro Bowl's about the only fucking football I won't watch. But that being said, the only real college football news is Alabama fans are going to be playing Wisconsin in a home and home. I think is what it is. I'm not sure. I'd have to read into it, but I know that they're having a 2-game series. They'll probably do one in Tuscaloosa and one in Madison. That'll be fun to watch. I know Wisconsin played Alabama a couple of years ago and got manhandled. Wisconsin actually played it pretty tough in the first half. It's just Alabama just had too much for them. So Wisconsin's a good young up and coming team, but we'll see. Like I said, there's much. Go ahead, Bobby.
I'm really excited to see what the Wisconsin does this year because, dude, I'm excited for that Wisconsin-Bama games. Those are going to be,
I'm not too excited for them because it's fucking Alabama, and I don't want Wisconsin to look like a bunch of fools. But I will say this, and I don't want to fucking hear people fucking say that fucking Big Ten doesn't fucking play anybody. He's just fucking crock of shit. I hear that every fucking year. Don't be surprised if Wisconsin beats them. Because I've seen Wisconsin they beat LSU, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but don't be shocked if it happens, because Wisconsin is one of those they do not lose at home. And if they lose at home, it's very rare.
Could you freaking imagine how big that would be?
It would if Wisconsin beats Alabama, if Wisconsin beats Alabama in Tuscaloosa, that would probably put Wisconsin through the stratosphere and put them right up there with Ohio State. As far as recruiting goes. But we'll when that time comes. I don't know when that's taking place. I don't think that's this year. I think it's probably next year and the year after. I really don't know. I'd have to look into it. Like I said, next week we will be covering the AFC West and the NFC West, and then we'll do the AFC North and the AFC North, and then the AFC South and the NFC South. We'll do each region weekly, and we'll do 2, and then at the end we'll pick our playoff teams, and then we'll pick our Super Bowl winners predictions at the beginning of the year.
Mine's gonna shock a lot of people.
Okay, well, we'll save that. Oh my god, I have one blinking Jason Momoa. So that being said, Heather, you got anything you'd like to add?
Go Ravens.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about them too. Bobbit, you got anything you want to add?
No, just I'm excited for this year. And go Packers Panthers.
And actually, I think the NFL season starts like this weekend is the first game. In fact, I think the first game is
the Hall of Fame game.
First game is Thursday, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yep, it's the Hall of Fame game. My boss from work is going to it.
Oh, okay. So there you go. First game of the week, first game of the year is this weekend or this week. I don't know if it's Thursday or whatever it is, but it is. Who's playing in that game?
It is Atlanta and Denver.
Okay, so Atlanta and Denver, and I'm not going to sit here and pick. When it comes to preseason, I don't pick games for that. I just watch to see what players are out there, and nothing really happens much in preseason. The one thing that we did talk about that I would like to talk about real quick before we get out of here, and I forgot to mention it, was they want to cut the season back, the preseason back, and add games to it. That being said, here's where I don't want that to happen, and I want to get everybody's thoughts on it. I wanted to get everybody. Don't let me forget. I want to get Sarah's thoughts on this. I don't want to see, because they can only play a maximum. Every player can only play a maximum of 16 games a year. So you have an 18-game season, but you can't have your best players play 2 of those games. No matter what 2 games they are, your best players are not going to be on the field for 2 games. That makes absolutely no fucking sense to me. These guys are getting paid tens of millions of dollars, and yet they can only play 16 games? That's out of an 18-game season? That makes no sense to me. That totally defeats the purpose of the Iron Man. Like, nobody will ever break Brett Favre's record. Or, what is it? No, it's not even Brett Favre's record, is it? Isn't it? No, it is Brett Favre's record.
Yes.
Nobody will ever break that quarterback record. Or that record, period. Because you can't play all 18 games. You can only play 16 out of the 18. I don't like that rule. Because records are made to be broken. Sorry. Just like in wrestling, Ric Flair should lose. He's held the record for the longest title reigns, or most title reigns.
Most, yes.
I personally think John Cena should break it. That's just me. Well, isn't him and Ric Flair tied?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're both tied 16.
Okay.
I thought Ric Flair had 17.
No, he had 16. So, I think that's right. So that being said, I don't. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
It's
Go ahead. I don't care who goes.
Yeah, Bobbit.
Go ahead, Bobbit.
Oh, okay. I agree with you. I think that they should play all 18 games, but I see why they don't do it, for just a case of injury and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword, really.
Okay. Heather, go ahead.
I'm in the same boat as Bobbit. It's a double-edged sword because you have the injuries, but again, you have the records to think of. It's You want to try and cut back on the serious injuries like the concussions and all that. And they've done that with the helmets and the shoulder pads and the tackling rules, which some of those are a little extreme. But cutting back the season like that, it just and restricting players that much when some of them want to be out there for that many games and want to play. It's
Right.
not really fair to them.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's stupid. I don't mind them adding 2 more games, but don't limit your players to only being able to play 16 games. That makes absolutely no sense. Then just keep the fucking 2 preseason games. This is stupid. Why would people want to pay money to not see their favorite players play? That's gonna take. That's gonna
That's it, basically.
ruin the
Diminish
credibility.
season pass.
What's that?
It's going to diminish the season pass.
Yeah, people aren't gonna. I mean, people are still gonna watch football because football is football, but I think you're missing the point of what I'm trying to get at. Well, some people may miss the point. I don't not want to see Aaron Rodgers on the field playing in a game because he's already played 16 games. So if you play in the first 16 games, okay, and you're in a tight race and you take him off the field, you lose them 2 games, you don't make the playoffs because you couldn't play him for 2 games. That makes no sense. Absolutely none. If they fucking do that, the NFL will somehow, some way, they will fail. They'll turn into the WWE. So, with that being said, anybody else got anything? And like I said, don't let me forget, I need to ask everybody else that question too. All right, guys. I know it's a short show, but like I said, next week we'll probably have more news, and then we'll hit on the prediction stuff. Don't let me forget, I'll write that down, ACC as well. So study up on that, Bobbit, for College Corner. I'll do that as well. Clemson is defending national champions. I think they have the best quarterback in college football today.
Yeah.
That Tua, whatever the fuck his name is, he does not hold a candle to that kid. But that being said, you guys have a great night, and I hope to see everybody next week. I love y'all, and we will talk to you after this weekend. Next Tuesday will probably be the show. I haven't figured that out yet. So that being said, y'all have a great night, and we will talk to you later. Peace out.